Hey guys, welcome back to another Arc Valguero Survival. This is just a little clip I'm going to be throwing at the beginning. So something funny is about to happen, and it's not going to be, it's on the spot thing, so I'm not going to be recording a video right this second. It's pretty early in the morning. But I'm on the server doing some grinding with a friend, and I helped him. We've been working on doing some breeding and all that, and of course that is going to be in the next episode, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Or, not the next episode, it'll be this episode. Either way, sorry, it's early in the morning, like I said. I'm out here with my friend Wolf. He's a friend who joined me on the server. I helped him breed an RG. This thing is a monster, okay? I actually am going to need to mess with some of the server stats because I saw how broken this thing was once we got it actually done. Where are you at? Just so I can find you. I came over here with Wyvern Valley with him. I watched him kill some stuff, and I decided that I just needed to... Okay, I need to watch myself because there are a lot of Wyverns. $82, $83, and 9. $82, $83. Are you not above the valley? I mean, I'm literally above the valley, and there are wyverns everywhere. So, guys, he was supposed to meet me over here. Like, dude, I literally have so many wyverns chasing me. Go and start killing them, and I will see damage numbers, and I'll just go watch. Anyone hit a wyvern? Yep, that's the thing. I don't even know where you're at. I'm just flying on my pterodon. Oh, there you are. There he is. I'm going to stay away from his dino because he will one-tap me. I'm going to watch this. Look at that. Look at that number. Isn't that just a bit broken? 200. I mean, don't apologize. Yeah, sorry, not sorry. I helped him create this monster, so because of this, I'm going to have to balance it before we go do any bosses or anything, or else nothing will ever be interesting. So, I didn't really mess with anything. Apparently, for the server, the taming stats that I had were a little unbalanced. Accidentally, of course, but we're going to have it fixed for when we actually do stuff. I don't even... I'm going to be following this dude throughout the ravine. This is probably going to be like a 5 to 10 minute clip. I mean, actually, I'll play your audio through here as well. Wait, can I can do that. So you guys are actually going to hear somebody through something other than, if I do this.
Hello, chat.
There you are. You guys can actually hear him. The first person you'll have heard in my videos, and it'll be Wolf. They can hear you, man.
Okay, here's another wyvern. I'm about to one-tap it. Here we go.
Did you fly in? Where are you at?
I'm above.
Oh, you're above the freaking ravine.
I'm above the ravine.
I was going further in. Oh, man. Yep. All I just had to see is the damage
dead.
numbers. Follow me. Follow me. I want to...
Okay, I'll follow you.
I'll want to lead you in. Because if... This is a little... You obviously know... Okay, he one-tapped a 185. So I know he's going to one-tap everything. That's not the question here. The question here is whether or not he can... Actually, I don't even know what it is. You're literally one-tapping everything. Like, this man, it's extremely unbalanced how things have turned out for dinos. Part of it is because of... for those who don't understand how breeding works, there is an imprint boost that's placed upon dinos, and obviously, you know, that we do have imprint boosts on this server, and that's fine. But he has 100% imprint boost, so obviously I need to mess with that. And also for the fact that his stats were already decent. He's not even the highest level RG, okay? Keep that in mind, y'all. Holy crap. Okay, yep. I don't want to become the target of this craziness. I'm going to stay out of the way because, like, ha 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 ha. Oh, well, I can one-tap a wyvern as well, but at the same time. It's just nuts to watch because that was a level 50. Can I one-tap? Oh, I one-tapped a level 90. Maybe all of them are a little unbalanced, but... I'm only doing 27,000. He's doing over 200. So, yeah. Also, this dino is not leveled up in melee as much as his is. I mean, for some people, this may not be that crazy, but I wanted to record it and add it in as a clip. It's only level 50. I'll eat it as a
I'm on fire.
Yeah.
There you go.
But it's
292,000. With over 1 million health. So...
Yeah,
I'm not even remotely worried about this.
Oh yeah, no, you can dive down in the lava and be fine. Actually, don't do that. It'll kick you off your dino.
I won't do that.
Yeah, no. I barely survived that. So, for those that don't know, I've flown in here off camera. I'm planning on doing a wyvern something soon. I'm not going to say when. I'm not going to say what exactly I'm doing with it. But I will, even though some of you can probably guess. I've flown in here, and one time when I came in, it was actually on this pterodon. I got knocked down in the lava by the wyverns. Knocked me off my mount. I fell in the lava. I thought I was going to die, but I grappled out. No clue. And I survived, lost about half my health, broke most of my armor, and my pterodon was fine, actually. The lava didn't do much to him. I don't know whether or not that's a thing, or whether or not it's supposed to really affect your dinos. 290. Look at... Yeah. I literally brought... Okay, before we came here, I literally sent this man here because this is one of the hardest maps, or hardest parts of the map to survive in. One of the first things you guys are going to see, and I don't know whether I'm going to make it another clip or I'll start recording the video then. I'm actually working on something at the moment before we can actually start the episode. We're going to see, you guys are going to see us take on the Broodmother today. That's all I'm going to say. And before we do the boss fight, I promise everything will be adjusted to an extent. Obviously, it's partially due to his dino's level, which I'll show you guys. I can see through my hourglass here, so he doesn't need to stop moving. 314 is his current level, okay? That's maxed for him. So he was 220 something like that when he started leveling. So which isn't
I think it was 226.
226, yeah. So I mean, it's nothing crazy. It's nowhere near max, but I mean, I still need to adjust stuff because with 100, that's what 100% imprinting plus server boost stats plus his level is all contributing to.
Don't forget the Christmas boost as well.
Well, there's no Christmas boost to damage. I think there's a boost with mating. I don't know if
XP. Yeah.
Well, yeah, okay. So there's XP for levels that infected it, and mating I know is affected. So, I mean, part of it could also be blamed on the Christmas event going on right now as well, but I just think it's nuts. And I wanted to add it in as a clip because this is actually absurd. I mean, honestly, there are dinos like this isn't the strongest dino in the game, y'all. That's what it makes this even crazier.
Declared my authority.
He's declared his authority. I mean, hey man, that's a pretty good way to do it. Killing every wyvern in here to where there's literally none. I mean, if you were to...
Oh, we gotta pick up eggs now. Pick up eggs.
Do you want to pick up some eggs?
Yes.
Okay. Is that... I mean, I'm...
Maybe one or two.
Man, try and get some high level ones. I mean, I'll fly around. Actually, no. These were your kills. I took one level 50 egg, but I was just going to eat it anyways. I mean, I'm going to leave you to your spoils because it's not really right for me to take any when these were your kills.
Where do I get them?
Okay, so you've never been in here one of these before? Okay, so just to explain it to those watching the video as well, if you come over to these little holes in the wall, for those that don't know, if they have a nest in them, that means there's an egg that's supposed to be there. And these are scattered all the way around, from the bottom closer to the lava all the way closer to the ceiling. There's little holes in the wall with nests that you'll see. I mean, there's some in the upper level. I'm going to go search the upper level because Isaiah had tamed an... This is actually turning into part of the video at this point because this is going to be like a 10-15 minute clip. So I hope you guys enjoyed the extra content. But it's Isaiah had a fire wyvern, so I decided a while back that I wanted a good level ice wyvern. Even if a fire wyvern's better, and I mean maybe it is, I don't know. I just prefer to have an ice wyvern. Not just to be different, but because I mean honestly, if I could pick between an ice wyvern and a fire wyvern, I'd probably choose the ice. It's more unique. And if there was a lightning wyvern on this map, then I'd pick that. But somewhere probably in the next 2 episodes, you guys are gonna see me do something with a wyvern. This episode, or actually no, I don't need to talk about this episode because you guys are gonna see it right after the clip. All that stuff that I'll be talking about. So there's no
level
point.
25. I don't think I want that, right? Nope.
Oh, dude, there's a ice wyvern that wants to say hello. Level 95 ice wyvern egg. Okay, can you leave it? Bye, bud. Thanks. Bye. I'm just gonna take her egg. Move on with my day. I mean, for those that don't understand wyvern eggs, I mean, I'm just gonna more me eating out sulfur. I mean, I can use sulfur for weapons and stuff. The highest level wyvern egg I think you can. I could be wrong. I'm just saying I think you can find is a 180, and that is the maximum. And I think that's for any dino for the wild. I think I have maximum difficulty on this server, so I believe I could find wild dinos potentially that are that high of a level. But a 180 wyvern egg is the absolute peak for dino level. So if the strongest dino on this map that you could get, not that you could bring it in the boss fights, would probably be a 180 wyvern that you've completely imprinted correctly. And if oh, by the way, well, I should add this as well, and then I'll get closer to ending the clip. But I made a deal with Wolf over here. I said I'd help him with one dino as far as imprinting and all that, and that was the dino that I helped him with. So don't think that just because he has this dino, he's gonna start getting a bunch of them out the ass. It's not that. That's not how this is gonna work.
No.
Just so that's completely clear. But kind of like Isaiah with his wyvern, I asked him what he wanted help with, and he decided he wanted help with his RG because he loves his RGs. So, I mean, if he decides he wants to work on a wyvern, I mean, obviously we can help him with it in the sense that we can advise him what to do for as far as incubating and all that's concerned. But I'm not going to be helping him as far as the way I did with the RG. Because he's learning this stuff. He's relatively new to Ark, so
I just first, 2 wyverns at once, and both got them.
Yeah, you think I say he's relatively new to Ark, but he's literally one-tapping everything in here with an OP dino, so I don't know. I guess all logic flies out the window when it comes to this game.
Oh, there's 4 wyverns. I'm gonna just stand here, or just float here. Let them come to me.
I'm sure you are. I'm not even surprised anymore, that's the thing. I'm going to just eat this. It's like, are you sure you would like to consume this item? And it's like, yes, I am 110% sure because I'm not going to use it. 15. Okay, just so people out there know, and then I'm going to do this and I'm ending the clip because you guys already saw what I wanted you to see anyway. But for those that are unaware, when it comes to wyvern eggs and the pit here, for any server, the only way you'll get different level eggs, like you saw I had a level 15 egg, the only way you're going to be able to reset it is if you collect all the eggs that are currently in the ravine. So you're not going to, if you go in there and you find level 15 eggs and you think if you come back later you're going to find something different, no. Different wyverns may have spawned, but the same eggs are still going to be there. So the only way they're going to truly respawn is if you get level 25. That means somebody didn't grab that. So, I mean, it's the only way you're going to find higher level stuff or have the potential to is if you pick it up and go. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and end the clip here. You guys, the episode will be starting in just a second because it'll be like no time passed at all for y'all. But I hope you guys enjoyed the clip. I just wanted to show something crazy that was going on between episodes. But I'll see you guys in a snap. Hey guys, welcome to another Ark Valguero Survival over here on our server. I think this will be episode 15. As you can see, we're in a bit different area today. Usually we start out, make sure your bird's away from mine just so we don't accidentally hit each other because that would be real bad. But you see we're in a bit of different area, which is kind of pretty obvious. But it's, for those that don't know, we're actually pretty close to the brood mother, if you can't tell by all the spider webs. For those that don't know what the boss is, it's basically a giant spider. You guys probably saw with the bonus clip. You got to see. Okay, he still had his saddle. I was like, wait a second, did I just break something? This is the dino that I bred. I will explain everything. You can see the eggs here. You're going to see breeding. It's all part of the episode. Okay, we're starting here because this is an episode where we're going to be we're not going to do anything important like boss battles or anything like that. There's literally no merit in killing the brood mother. Okay, there's nothing we're gaining from this. It's possible that we'll get decent drops, but I mean, if it makes, I mean, I don't really care because, you know, this happened by accident. But they're probably not going to get anything decent at all from this. You don't get tech drops, nothing crazy, but we're just going to see how fast we can kill the brood mother, which I'm actually quite curious because he was doing over 200k. This dino, though, is a bit more than that. So I was breeding my Tech Rexes because you guys have seen me tame a few during the series so far. Okay, I bred my strongest Tech Rexes. I wanted to see what would happen. I tried doing a recording and messed up, so I just decided I'd do it off camera. I planned to do the rhinos with y'all on video today, but
490.
yeah, they just get to see the damage number. Yes, that's a little bit of a spoiler, but this dude's nuts. So I bred him. His imprinting's 100. By the way, T-Rexes are not easy to imprint. He was very annoying. But most of this is just base stats. Okay, 330. This is over 100 levels below the cap. That I know. From what I understand, the cap for dinos is 450. I'm going to make that clear from the get-go. This dude's 330. This is his max level. I did level him. I did breed. But I've been on the server literally all night. So I've been grinding and getting all this done. And it just seemed like a very fun thing to make a video. It's as an intermission between us collecting the lost item and also to kill some stuff. I mean, just as long as you stay out here to the outside, she'll walk back. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, just stay on the outside. Yeah, she will not come further than that. She literally can't. Oh, never mind. I was wrong. There's the broodmother, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to kill it. Oh, I literally did with 1.5 million damage.
1.4, yeah.
I'm going to back up. I'm going to continue explaining. The broodmother is going to respawn. So obviously that mess. Okay, look at that. I literally got. Hey, you're gonna like this. I got a ramshackle scuba gear. I'm gonna drop all this prime meat because it's taking up space. I mean, like I said, this is legit. I'm gonna fix the server before we do the final boss fight. All right, I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it before we do the next dungeon because obviously, bred dinos are kind of crazy, stat wise, and I need to fix that because it's. I mean, it's cool to have broken stuff, but at the same time, it kind of takes the fun and the work out of everything. So, I'll work on it. I mean, this is what the broodmother's lair typically looks like. We got to get further away before she'll respawn. But look, just the Ranios, and normally my dino doesn't do 1.5. I think maybe versus bosses, their caps removed or something. I don't know. It was the level 50 broodmother. Maybe it's because I was able to one-tap it. We're trying to see if we can go against a high-level broodmother because a high-level broodmother should have over 1 million health, and it'd be interesting. What the heck is up with this? Are you in the room with the broodmother at the moment? I don't even know what you are, but I need to know because are you? Oh, the thigh. Okay. It looked like it was something else, and I was like, well, how is it being held down? Like by spider webs or something. But I'll get out of the pit here. Look how freaking fast this T-Rex is. Like, it's nuts. 427%. And what I can do, I think, is I can grab him. Look at that. Oh, I thought I had him. Can I not pick up a T-Rex with quits? I'm pretty sure I can. Oh, maybe I can't. I thought maybe I could pick up a T-Rex with a quets. I thought I could. Maybe it's just a bad angle. You know, I'll give it a shot. But we were going to come over here. I mean, obviously, I one-tapped it, but we're going to see how his quets does, or not his quets, his RG does, and how I do. Dude, this is way too much. It's too much. And, of course, you guys have probably seen the name, but originally, I'd thought the name of this dude Frankenstein, because it's a tech. I mean, it's a tech dino. I thought it'd be funny. But not even more than that, he was being born from tech dinos that were named, I believe one was named Terminator, and the other one was named, I thought about Unicron. You guys should remember Unicron because Isaiah requested that I name it that, the one that we got from Aberration, who is actually our lowest level tech Rex, even though he's still a monster. So it was Terminator and I think Tyrant something. I know I named it after some Pokemon. I forget what it was. I know I'm gonna probably be called about that because I take pride in the fact of being a human Pokedex, but it's too early in the morning. My brain just doesn't. Oh man, it's gonna bother me. At some point in this episode, I'm gonna call it out because I'm gonna remember. But either way, so I renamed him from Frankenstein to Frankenstein's monster because this dude is a monster. He's a beast. He is far more than what any dino in this game should be. What we're going to do is wait here on the outside, man. I think we might have to be farther away. But wait here on the outside. I'm going to fly over with my quets. By the way, you guys are going to, just like with the clip, this episode I will be playing somebody's audio through. Typically, as you know, I've said it in a video, reasons why I don't do that in the past is because, you know, some of my friends can't really watch their language. And with the way YouTube works, and yeah, I just don't want to risk it. So it's just for the best. Honestly, I think we have to be further away because I don't see the brood mother. So yeah, I think we gotta carry everything further away. So I'm gonna pick up my T-Rex, and if we legitimately just fly out of Redwood and then fly back in, she'll have respawned. I know that at least it works. I just thought maybe leaving that territory would be enough, but I guess not. So go ahead and fly towards, fly out of Redwood, and I'll follow. I'm gonna go and pick up my Rex again. I did not expect that we'd kill her that quickly, or even.
Straight north.
Yeah, I mean, look at that though. I mean, we got some drops. I mean, we got the scuba gear.
4 million.
I was not expecting that, man. Honestly, that scares me as to what would happen if we brought something like this into boss fights.
Just to see the number.
I mean, imagine. Okay, so I talked about this. For those that don't understand how breeding works, I will explain. Because like I said, I plan on doing that this episode anyway. But just for the basic gist, by the way, my armor broke. Whenever you're working on dinos, obviously you want to level up your mate, your highest level male and female. Obviously, you're looking for stats when you actually start breeding on the baby to see what see what boosted stats they have, and among other things, because there are mutations, and like that's far too complicated for me to do in a few sentences. Okay, I mean you can probably find many tutorials online for this, and it's far more than you'll probably be able to get out of me in a few minutes. But the basic gist is that the 2 highest level T-Rexes that I threw together. When they came out, I don't know if this dude has a mutation or not. I didn't look closely enough to be able to. I mean, it's possible since he's a Tech Rex that it just happened in a region that I just didn't notice. I think it's in health, okay? I think his mutation's in health. Because it happens in one of their stats if they have one. And I think for my T-Rex it's in health because this dude has 2.3 million health, okay? That is far more than a T-Rex normally should have. And I'm saying that because on past servers, I have tamed T-Rexes and I've mated them, and they don't usually ever go that high. So, I mean, it's kind of ludicrous. And that kind of being an understatement. I flew out of Redwood. I'm going to fly forward for another minute or so, and then I'll turn around and go back. I'm actually flying towards Isaiah's base. But now I'll turn back and fly back, and hopefully she'll have respawned. I believe she should have. I mean, this is what happens with the brood mother. For those that don't know, just to go a little off topic for a second. If she's a mini boss, so you don't have to pay, artifacts, tribute, blah, 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 to spawn her in. Not on this map. You just fight her as a mini boss. She deals less damage than she normally would, but she still has a monstrous amount of health. The fact that I was able to one-tap her is only because I have a boosted to frickin' hell dino. I don't even know if saying the word hell is going to get me some sort of copyright struck on YouTube. No clue, given this context, but I'll say it anyway and leave it in there. I mean, it's just, that's the easiest way to describe it. I mean, it's just absolutely nuts. I mean, even his dino wasn't, okay, he bore his Argentavis from something that wasn't even that special. His dinos weren't that special. They were leveled up quite a bit. But even, I mean, my T-Rexes were kind of special in the sense that they're Tech Rexes. I believe, I can't say this for certain, so people can correct me if they're wrong, but from what I usually see, Tech Rexes have better stats. Or not Tech Rexes, Tech Dinos typically have better stats. Let's see, I'm going quiet because I'm trying to see if she spawned back in, and I do not want to get into a brawl with her with my quets. I don't see her. Okay, I guess we gotta fly further across the map. I mean, that's fine with me. Are you out of Redwood? I'm talking to
Let's
you.
go.
Are you out of Redwood? You're lagging a bit if you're talking to me.
I am. I'm out of room. I'm out.
Okay. I'm just checking because I'm actually gonna fly out still because she hasn't respawned. So I mean, I'm just gonna. We're gonna wait a minute. I might cut the recording until she respawns again, and we'll meet you there. But I mean, I was explaining mating. So basically, they just fly further out from Redwood because she hadn't respawned. So I think that means we hadn't been far enough out. I think the area has to be unrendered and it has to render back in. And I think that means more for me than it does you. So I'll fly to Isaiah's and then fly back. I don't know. I think you said you flew north of it, right?
North, yes.
All right. So fly to my boat and then fly back if you remember where my boat is. So that'll be the paths we'll take.
Landed on your boat, but I'm flying further north.
Okay. So just fly for another 30 seconds and turn back. I'm going to land at Isaiah's base, wait like 10 seconds, and we'll fly back. And if it's not, then I will, refresh the server and we'll see what happens from there. I mean, she should be a naturally respawning, like, wild... She's not technically wild dino, but a naturally respawning wild dino. That should be how her assets work on the server. That's why I thought it'd be fun to test it out with our dinos. Obviously, hopefully the next one we find is above level 50, otherwise it will not be taking a hit from my dino. But for the next one at least, I meant to give the first one to him, so for this next one, he's definitely going to be the one fighting him, and I'll just watch. So you guys will get to see his RG frickin' destroy at least I believe so. If it's over level 100 though, then it'll be interesting to watch. Because if it's I don't know how high the Broodmother level goes on this server, but I mean some of them make it pretty tough. And his RG doesn't hit as hard as mine, but it still hits hard. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead. I landed at his base, I waited a second. I'm gonna go ahead and fly back now. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and fly back. And hopefully, I don't even know if Isaiah's base is far enough, but I'll hope so. Just so you guys know as well, I mean, I'm going to get back to the breeding part because I know I'm getting sidetracked here, but Isaiah has currently made the claim that for the remainder of the time that we're on this server, he's not coming back on. Don't know exactly what his reasons are. He didn't share. But part of it was to do with AFK pranking him, I'm sure, because I messaged him, hey, you got pranked. He was not very happy about the fact that he got pranked. Nothing bad actually happened, realistically. It's just a prank. But I'm guessing because he didn't either want to be or progress or whatever. I'm not going to assume on his behalf. I'm just saying so y'all know. As far as his base and dinos and everything are concerned, we'll leave them alone for the next few episodes. And if he doesn't come back on, then I have something pretty funny planned. We'll see though. We'll give it a few episodes. So not this one, next one. By the time the boss fight's about to occur is probably when I'll do it. This episode we'll take care of the Broodmother, or mess around with the Broodmother some. You might take our dinos into a dungeon. That'd be pretty funny. See how absolutely insane they would be in a dungeon. Because you guys have already seen I've collected basically all the artifacts. One thing I would like to do this episode, obviously I wouldn't be able to bring that dino, so don't worry, I'm not breaking the game by bringing this next one. I would, okay, is the Broodmother in here? Okay, the Broodmother is not in here for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe it takes her a certain amount of time to respawn. Here, I'm going to look that up real fast. Give me just a second. But I'll finish off this thought. I mean, for this episode, we're going to see us fight the Broodmother. I will probably save the Aberration and Hazmat suit till next time, because if Isaiah is not going to be joining us, then I'll finish doing all the prep and all that off camera, and next time we'll go down and do that, and then we'll get the rest of the tributes together, and then it'll just be dinos. So this time it'll be Broodmother, and then you'll see me breed. And because of how long breeding and imprinting takes, I'll show you guys the basics, and then I'll do the rest off camera, because we are getting relatively close to this series ending. We are. Probably within 5-6 episodes of it. But I promise I have way bigger stuff planned. I know it seems like I've rushed through this a bit, but it's for good reason, I promise. But I'm going to go ahead and cut until we're right back with the Broodmother. I'll be back in just a moment, guys. Sorry, guys. We're back. We just rebooted the server, and that should have done the trick for us. Because it was okay. So if those that don't know, there's a glitch on Valguero where, I mean, if you kill the broodmother, that she'll be invisible. No clue how long it'd be till she was back to normal, so we just rebooted it. Okay, are you in my face? No, you're not. As you can see, I'm dealing less damage than I did. The reasoning for that is because while we were rebooting, I nerfed our stats a bit. I know it would have been something cool to see, but I legitimately got to see what he was doing to a broodmother. Oh, okay. Do you want to come up here and deal with the broodmother before I,
Yeah, I'll get it.
Yeah, so you guys can see him deal with this one. Look at that. 400. That's far better than it was. Look at that! Look at that. That's better. Better than it was. Now, I'm gonna go in here and kill all these Iranios real fast because I hate spiders with a passion, and I need them all to die. So, after I finish killing all these spiders, then we're gonna go back out. Okay, are they gonna knock out my dude? They're getting his Topor up there. Oh, actually, no, they're not. I'm just starting to see the bar, so. Our dinos should be doing about half of what they were because I nerfed our stats quite a bit. But I'm going to leave them as they're at because although we're still hitting hard, this is relatively normal to what you could expect from dinos that have been imprinted correctly and are bred correctly. So at the level that they're at right this second, I'll check my dino stats. Well, I still see your damage numbers over there. He had 2.3 million health before, okay? Now he has 1.3. He still has the same melee damage. That's not going to change percentage-wise. He still has the same movement speed. But his overall damage changes, okay? That's the difference. So the damage he deals and the health that he had have dropped. So I don't believe it's as much of a big deal. But I'm going to go ahead and cut until it's my turn to take on a broodmother. I'll wait until they respawn. But once again, we'll disappear. This will be the last time we do it, but I just thought it'd be something cool to test out our new dinos. I'll be back in just a second. Alright, we're back. Same place, but I basically got off my dino and we walked away. You know, but needed to come back. And this should be around now. That's the general idea anyway. I'm going to drop down and lure it to the center. I might actually die here. This might actually really hurt my dino. Yep, really hurt my dino. But having 1.3 million health, I'm really not worried about it. Hey, buddy, fight me in your arena. I challenge you. Wow, it's actually doing some damage. Holy crap. This is relatively normal for what you would expect for this. If she actually kills my dino, I'm going to be... Okay. Well, that was a high level one. No wonder she survived for so long. Okay. Well, the more you know. But look at that! I took some damage. It took a very high level one. But, keep in mind, this broodmother is a very... How should I word it? Toned down version of what you'd be dealing with in boss fights. Level... Okay. Sure. Level 25. I honestly thought they'd be higher level. I was killing 500s in here earlier. Oh well. The broodmother can spawn in at random levels, so it's I think it's from 1 to 450 or something like that. So I actually got by near the very top. Let's see. But yeah, so you got to see our dinos tested out. Obviously mine was a bit more intense, but at the same time I also have the more intense dinos, so I think that's kind of fair. But hope you guys enjoyed it a little bit. So what we're gonna do now is, actually I have no clue what he's gonna do with his time. I'm gonna show you guys a bit of breeding because we showed off our dinos. Honestly, I don't think there's anything else on the map besides bosses that would be close to the same challenge. And believe me, these dinos are tough, but they're not enough to fight the bosses. At least I don't believe so. Gamma, Beta, maybe. But as I've told you guys before, I plan on going straight in on Alpha. And with just one, I wouldn't really risk it. It's possible what we have right now is already overkill, but I've never fought the bosses on this map. So yeah, I really am kind of going all in. But it'll be interesting, to say the least. I do not want the prime meat, but I guess I'll take it anyways because... Hey, I got a blueprint for night vision goggles. I'll take those, I guess. Did you get anything interesting from the bird mother? Out of curiosity. You might have gotten...
No, just chitin and organic polymer.
No blueprints?
No.
Huh.
Actually, just a pair of ramshackle Ryan boots.
Oh, we also should have gotten the flag. Yeah, brood mother flag, spider flag. Yeah, I already had one on my base, so I'm just going to toss it. I mean, it's an achievement you get for beating this, whether it's the actual boss on the island or the center or here. I mean, You guys already saw I actually had one on my base already. That's because I killed a level 15 a while ago. I just didn't record it because, you know, I wanted revenge after he killed my pterodon. I wanted to wait till I'd actually had more time invested. I could go back and actually do like a official battle. Though I guess this really couldn't count as that because we had really strong dinos. But either way, well, we're gonna go ahead and fly over towards. Well, we're gonna fly over Wolf's base, but because I'm actually gonna. Oh no, we'll go by mine first. We're gonna drop off the Quetz. I just used the Quetz because it was if need be, we could have levitated it over the spider ravine or the spider den there. And then I could have just grappled up. That's why I have so many grappling hooks compared to when I was we were over in the Wyvern Ravine when I didn't have any. Between this point and that, I decided to craft a bunch in case I needed to use them, but I didn't. Heck, it actually did prove not to be any trouble for us at all. So, at least for the moment, we've kind of... Huh?
That was a good challenge.
Yeah, I mean, at least for the moment, we kind of broke Ark.
Yeah.
Like there's not a
we're still ironing out the wrinkles.
Yeah, like I mean, as you guys can see, like mid clip there, obviously our damage ratio has changed. I'm probably not gonna nerf it more than where it's at because it's still boosted. Okay, I've said at the beginning, this is a boosted server to some degree, so stuff doesn't take 1,000 years. But it's at the same time, I mean, I lowered it far from what it was. I mean, I boosted it up thinking that it was low, but now that we've actually started breeding dinos, I've realized that was way too high. So, we're going to need to do some more breeding. I'm going to show you guys the gist of basically how to do it. Do you only want your one RG, or are you interested in breeding more as well? Because now that you know yours doesn't do as much as it used to, does that mean you want another one or to breed one that's stronger?
I'm just glad I have
an OP dino.
A dino that has air power or air superior.
You have the strongest flying dino on the map. That's what I can say. Because his dino could easily strike down Isaiah's Wyvern. Because Isaiah leveled him up all in melee and almost nothing in health. Not to mention he had a really bad imprint on it. If you guys remember that trade from like over... It was easily like 5-6 episodes back now, maybe 7 or 8. When I made that, finished that trade with him, gave him the Wyvern milk, and he was working on his dino. Granted, I've had to iron out a lot of server settings over the course of the past couple hours, guys. So if something still seems absurd, just bear with me. I'm meticulously messing with this stuff as I'm going through here. Got tech quets down there. You might see a different Quetz at the house. That's because I found one off camera. Also, you guys almost saw me completely, flip out. I just wanted to carry this one because I wanted it to be a surprise. Or to bring this one because I wanted it to be a surprise. I might breed Quetzes here at some point. Maybe not on this server, but at some point in the future I will be breeding Quetzes because they're my favorite dino. Yeah, I got this monster. call him Winter Soldier because I like the blue. This is the only other Quetz I've been able to tame, but he's a good one. He's max level. Like, I've done a lot of leveling off camera, guys. Like, believe me, like, it's nuts. This is the last Quetzalcoatl I had. Like, the amount of work I've done off camera is, yeah, just hours of it. So all my flying dinos should be max level because I just flew over to where Isaiah was and started killing Brontos like crazy in case any of y'all care. But, yeah. Have that dude now. He's not going to have a platform saddle on him. The reason he's where he is because I'm going to be using him for metal runs. That's kind of it. I mean, the ones that have the platform saddle on them, I was going to use for wyverns and stuff later on. But that's talking of future plans. We'll get to that eventually. But we're going to go ahead and fly over to where I was working on a little breeding area. For those of you that don't know quite how this works, for some dinos, when you're breeding, you just get the dino, and then for some, you get eggs. There's different stages to this. I'll be discussing all of them, but at least for the moment, for the T-Rex, it was an egg, for those that are unaware. And then for his Argentavis, it was also an egg, though for something like the rhinoceros, like we're going to be the woolly rhino that we're going to be working on today, it's actually not an egg. It just, when you're breeding, the dino comes out, and then you're stuck imprinting from there. Like, there's different processes depending on the kind of dino. And I'll try and touch base on most of it. I mean, like I said, this channel and this series isn't really meant as a full tutorial thing. I mean, I'm happy if I can explain some of this stuff to y'all. And if I make this easier for you, then awesome. I'm glad that I did. But that's not the purpose of this. Like, I'm still figuring out bits and pieces of this as I go. Because like I said in the very beginning of this series, I was very rusty coming in. And the more advanced and the more technical this game, the more technically involved I become in this, the harder it's going to be for me to move along. So I'm not going to expect y'all to be able to, well, the basic gist of what I'm trying to say is that I'm not making this as a tutorial when I don't even fully understand it. That's what I was trying to say, but it's, yeah. Let's see. It should be, it's not even hard to see myself on the map. Gamma. Could you not do that, please? 2? There we are. That's much better. As you guys see, I have a lot of points on the map now, but I can't actually see where my... yes, I can. Okay, so that's where your base is, so... Fly over here to Wolf's base. He's actually done a lot of work. Out of everybody on the server who's joined, Isaiah, he did his grind for his dinos immediately. Within the first 2 episodes, he literally had everything he wanted, and that he just started phasing in and out. Wolf has made a crap ton of progress. Actually, I see him. That's funny. Don't even know how that ended up working out, but it's the amount of progress he's made compared to everybody else on the server is nuts. Although AFK is currently building a base, like I showed you guys before, and somewhere hidden in Aberration. Isaiah is kind of done making progress at the moment, at least for this map. As far as he says. He may change his mind at some point, I have no idea, but at least from what he says. And, oh dude, your bird's still following you. I told him this when he first got on it, or he first got his bird, but I love the color scheme on that. It looked like a teal at first, but I can see it's a green. The gray and the green were agreed together. But do you mind if I show off your house, man? They can still hear you. They can still hear you, by the way, so you're fine if you want to talk.
Yeah, I gotta get rid of these large storage boxes and replace them with vaults. I have one already made, but there's 2 right here. So
oh, dude,
here's my bunk bed, and then upstairs is gonna be.
Man, my frames are dropping.
I don't know what I want to do with this upstairs.
I didn't mean to do that. Gotta.
Yeah, I just have a feeding trough and.
You could. I mean, you could keep your pet dinos up here since you have the feeding trough, but I mean, like for your monkey. Like you had the. Is your monkey still around? I forget the name of the dino itself, but. Or did it die?
I think it just went down and left.
Oh, was that my fault?
No.
Okay.
I think it died natural causes. Old age, you know.
Oh, I gotcha. I think I'd mentioned it in a previous episode, guys, but essentially, oh yeah, I did, because I basically forced him to advance, because he had a thatch house at one point, and I was testing the fireworks display close to his house, and I have to admit, it was kind of on purpose, but also kind of just to see what would happen, and it got too close, and it kind of exploded at least half of his base. We're good. I ended up giving him a vault, and we're square. Yeah. Just to make that clear like I did back then. But yeah, it looks better now, though. Way better stone than that.
Yeah.
Just came with a little sacrifice. Yeah, man. You were so happy to go track down all your dinos that were pissed off and chased me off everywhere.
Yes.
Because whenever you attack an enemy player when their stuff's on neutral, even if their dinos don't kill you, they will run after you. So his dinos kind of win every which place. This is cool. This looks like another tree from Avatar. Oh no, I think it's just with this map, with Valguero, and maybe some of the custom maps in general, they just added a lot of aesthetically pleasing things that you wouldn't find in a lot of the main game, or I guess I should say main story maps. But I mean, it's really cool. I actually really enjoy playing the custom maps just because there's so many unique features or unique aspects to them. Like I love the aesthetic for both this map and Ragnarok. They may not have as much to them, but they're very pretty. They're very pretty maps. But here, let's get up. I actually have my Rexes on. I'll show you guys both the setups that I did. So I have one breeding setup that I did on the roof. By the way, this took a while because keep in mind all of these were cryopotted and they'd gained a lot of levels. Like that's why they're all basically at max. This is one. Which one? Terminator. That's the one I literally tamed between episodes. But because I tamed so many Tech Rexes both on and off camera before, I really didn't stress about pressing the record button for one Tech Rex. But this is the one that was the main one I used for breeding for the monster that I now have. And then, ironically, typically with breeding, you want to have one male who's the highest level and then a bunch of females who you're choosing to breed with. I didn't realize it, and this is 100% by mistake because there's no way I could have possibly planned an algorithm in a game that's everything's based on RNG, or most things. All of my Tech Rexes but one are female. Which, see, female mate boosted, and female mate boosted. And then the one male I have is my second highest level? No, third highest. Yeah. But it's fine. So he is, it was Tyrantrum. That was the name of the, I have to see the T-Rex to remember. For those that get it. Not my favorite generation of Pokemon, but, I just thought of it. Little on the nose, but, Anyway, this Tech Rex is 321. He's the only male, so I was able to breed him and turn mating on, because if you go to behavior, you can enable mating, and then as long as the opposite sex is nearby, you can legitimately just behavior, enable mating, and then they'd make an egg. I still have an extra egg in my inventory here, as you guys can see. I mean, I'm going to toss it because I'm not going to keep it. It's from two of my weaker matches, because I tried to breed the strongest one possible, which was the 348 with the 321. The other egg that I have is from the 339 with the 321. The stronger the dino match, obviously the stronger the offspring. I mean, technically, this is a female. Is my Tech Rex, is he a male? I can't. That's female. Never mind. If it was male, then I could technically breed this 330. Well, 330, that's technically an improvement. But, I could breed a 330 then with this 348 and keep making stronger and stronger dinos and improving stats and getting mutations. Like, there's a lot to this. I'm going to do, not with the Rex, because, I've already had my Rex, and I'm really not planning to bring Rexes into the boss fight just for lulz. I'm going to bring this Rex, and he's going to bring, Wolf's going to participate, and he's going to bring his RG. RGs are not meant for boss fights. Like I said, it's just for fun. Because we know how strong our dinos are, and It's still a good possibility we'll die in alpha difficulty, but you know what? It's for fun. And then the rest are probably going to be woolly rhinos. Because for those that do not remember, there is a maximum of 20 dinos that can be brought into a boss fight. On a server that has boosted stats, I mean, ours aren't extremely boosted, okay? But they're boosted. I can't really hide that, and I'm not going to try to hide that. But there's not a whole lot of point in us having 20 serious tames when we're not gonna have a whole lot of use for 20 serious tames. It's overkill. Even if we're fighting 3 bosses at once. Well, I actually don't know if are nerfed, but anyway, it's basically these 3 are. I had 5 total. 2 of them I crowdpotted again, but this is one because I wanted to test this stuff out off camera, guys. Come on, because I didn't want to. I just said come on, but I wanted to test this out off camera to make sure it would work if I did it on camera and to where episode prep, blah 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 blah. So this is one I already breeded. It's a good one. This is one that AFK helped me do because he's had a lot more experience on ARC servers, so I was getting him to help me, or not. Well, yeah, he was helping me, but also to kind of advise me if I was slipping up on something because, like I said, I'm pretty darn rusty, and I don't remember everything. I just remember the basic gist and how everything works. There's way more technical stuff about mutations and breeding that is way over my head that I don't quite have down. Trying to figure it out as I go along here, and as I continue to play ARC again, I'm sure I'm going to pick up on a lot of stuff as time goes on that I didn't really think of before. And believe me, with a lot of the server stuff, I mean, especially with Wolf on the Line, there's a lot that we figured out over the past few hours that we did not know a day plus ago. Like, there's a lot of server settings we had to mess around with to get this working correctly, at least in our book. But I mean, the just so you guys know who I guess I could go over to the dino and look up heritage and all that fun stuff if I really wanted to. But for that particular dino, I think it was these 2 are both females, right? No, that's a male. This one a female then? Yes, it's a female. And then this one's a female also. Yes. So it was this one and this one, the 312, the 2 312s that we bred together, and that's what made my dino. I'm pretty sure it might have actually been this one since he's only 302. Because I also worked to get these guys up. His dino has not been leveled at all. Like I said, I did a lot of off-camera work to see how far I can make these guys go. Like this dude's stats, he's also kind of nuts, but he's not anywhere near the kind of crazy that my T-Rex is. So he has, yeah, it's 179,000 health. So these guys are not, they don't have great health. Okay. Melee, yeah, 414,000 melee damage, and then he has 726.5% movement speed. This dude, an absolute unit for speed, but you don't need that, especially not the one you're going to be using for bosses and stuff. You don't need speed. You mainly want health and melee. I mean, unless it's something crazy like the Broodmother, in which case you'd probably want some fortitude, though I don't quite know how you'd reinforce that. I'm getting off topic. But with y'all here, I'll go ahead and breed one here. Let's go ahead and there's some items that we're gonna need. There's some tricks to this. This one already has mating enabled, so I just disabled it for the male. Okay, that's fine. Enable mating. Is this one oh, this one's mating as well. Okay, I do not want this one disable mating. Yeah, that's gonna turn off now. Hopefully. Just give it a second. Nice. Yeah, there we go. Cool. I only want the one breeding. If you're a veteran at this, you're probably going to be able to tame and imprint on multiple dinos at once and do this super smoothly. I only try and do one at a time just because you have to be very quick and there's a lot of stuff you need to do. I'm not going to fully tame, well, I'll probably cut it. I'll show you guys how to do the imprints. There's a lot of interesting stuff they can ask you to do and ask you to get for imprints. And like, for the woolly rhino, for the first one, I mean, a lot of it's just like, hey, cuddle with your friend. Cuddle, you just press, I'm playing on PC, so you guys are going to understand it via PC controls. Wolf, if you guys are curious, I mean, he could tell you the Xbox controls. But, I mean, for PC at least, for mouse and keyboard, it's like cuddle with your friend. I just press E. Walk with your friend. You make him follow you and just walk across until he gets his imprint. Feed him certain items, like even for carnivores, like my T-Rex asked for a Zerberry. I did not expect that. They can ask you for jerky, prime meat jerky. They can ask you for kibble. Like there's a lot of different things they can ask you for. Obviously, I don't have access to all those items, so if you don't have access to it, you're just going to get stuck. There is one way around this, okay? And I'll show it to y'all when we hit it. But I'm not looking to make this one a perfect tame. I worked and grabbed a bunch of stuff from my base off camera, and like I had to grab all of that just to make sure that I got the best one pot. Like this is with I think this is 100% imprint. I'm pretty sure because just like my Rex, like I did that off camera. Yeah, 100% imprint on that one. I don't know how AFKs came out. Like I tried to keep up with it to make sure 100% imprint. Like I said, we had to mess around with the server settings because I know you're not supposed to technically you're not going to get 100% imprint every time. Sometimes you're going to get stuck in an objective and that's going to stop you. And sometimes you're just going to get very unlucky. It just depends on the dino. It depends on the circumstance. Like it's a weird. Like mating is not circumstance. Mating is just off the dinos that you've tamed. But as far as raising that, the particular dino, when it comes to imprinting, it's all RNG. Or I should say 90% RNG. The fact being prepared for it and actually keeping up with everything, I'll give credit for that being skill. But most of what you're dealing with when it comes to imprinting and raising the dino and keeping up with its food and all that's going to be RNG. Like we played around with server settings for hours getting it right for breeding, and even now it's still not perfect. And I know I keep jumping back to the server settings, but as we continue to play on not just this server but other servers, because this is not the last, I'd already said it before, this is not the last arc map I plan to play. So I'll continue to refine this and get everything rolling. Man, that's taking a minute. Oh, okay, so they finished mating. So after a dino finishes mating, going a little off topic for a second, they start a thing called gestation. And, yeah, so it gives you a timer into how long until it's done. And the second that's done, the baby comes out, whether it's an egg or whether it's the actual dino. In this case, it's going to be the actual dino. So we got 2.5 minutes, and then we'll be going from there. And hopefully I'll get lucky with RNG, especially while I got pretty lucky with these. I got mostly following and mostly imprinting. I think I had to run back to my base to grab jerky once because it's a good thing I kept all that in my fridge. I mean, you can get requests for some weird stuff, but it'll be I'm much more of a hands-on learner, so maybe you guys are as well. So maybe while I'm doing this, it'll make more sense to you because I don't know how much sense it's making when just talking about it when none of it's actually happened with y'all yet, but I'm gonna get around to it. A lot of this stuff just takes time. And also, depending on how fast your dino, we have multipliers on the server for how fast dinos grow up, and also how intervals between cuddling and imprinting, and how much of an imprint you get percentage wise per one. I think the rhino took me the longest. I mean, I had to adjust the server settings after that because it was like half hour, 45 minutes in, and I'd only had 30-40% imprinted or something like that. It took a crazy amount of time. I mean, that's fine, but when you have to pay attention, because even if you're keeping up and moving as fast as the game will let you, I mean, you have to keep it adjusted, because if you're actually keeping up with it and actually doing everything, you should be able to technically get to 100% imprinted. But with maturation speed and all that, it all affects it. There's so many variables in play. Let's word it like that when you're doing this. And we're starting with the most basic. This is a wild woolly rhino, two wild woolly rhinos being bred together. So this is what any of y'all could get if you were to go on any server and tame the same levels of rhinos, level them up to 312, and do what I'm doing. Maybe there's a higher level of mutation for mine, because of color schemes or whatever. And in which case, I don't know. That's actually something I don't know. Maybe there is something like that. But realistically, you guys can do exactly what I'm doing with woolly rhinos, and I'm hoping to give you guys the best description. So that if I do any of this off camera, you guys will know what I did. You guys will know how I did it. because I'm not going to breed over 10 of these on camera, or else, I mean, that would be, I mean, I could stream it, but I'm not going to record it, because that would be hours and hours and hours and hours of recording the same thing. Look, oh, that's actually a pretty good level. Look at that. I'm going to name this dude. I'll let you guys name him in the comments. Look at this dude, because he's one I'm doing on video. So you guys can name him in the comments. But I'll do a few imprints. And then I'll cut it to when he's a bit closer to done. Oh my goodness. And we'll go from there. Because I mean, if I were to do, because look at how slow that maturation speed. Like 20 plus minutes, 30 plus minutes, 45 minutes plus of, if I were to sit here and look at this and do all of this with y'all, that's how long the recording would be added on to what we've already done. And I've already probably recorded roughly 30 minutes. So this video would probably be going closer to 2 hours if I were to sit through all of this. Look at that, see? He just wants to cuddle with me. It's a very basic command. For the server at the moment, I mean, you can adjust it one of two ways. I'll show you guys both, okay? For the first one is you can have the interval very low. As you guys can see, I mean, this is one thing me and Wolf both had to experiment when he was doing his RG and when I was doing my Woolly Rhino and Rex. I mean, you can do it so they want care in 45 seconds. You just have a very low imprinting. I mean, even if you're doing it instantly, I don't believe you could. I guess it's possible to get 100%, guys, okay? I guess it's possible, but the likelihood of you getting 100% when you're getting 2% of a time is kind of crazy. But the more you increase the ratio for which, for how long it takes to give a dino care, see, like prime meat jerky already stuck. So if that happens, then there's one fix. And it only works once every few minutes. So don't think this is something you could spam, okay? It's just not. Let's see, I took him in the cryopod. Throwing him back out. How you doing, bud? He wants to go on a walk with me. Look at that. We got a reset. So I'm going to whistle. Is he following me? No, he's not. Okay. Let me get him to follow me. Wait, is my... making sure they're not following me. So while this dude's chasing me down, I have 280 seconds before I can do that again with an imprint. So if you guys want to divide that by however long it takes me via activities with the dude, and however long it takes me to not even just activities. Did I get the 2%? I think I got the 2% because that's the thing he does whenever he's done. Yep. However long it takes me to complete each of these objectives, and also the intervals. So I mean, but what I was trying to say is if you increase the interval. So instead of 45 seconds, I think normally, wasn't it at like 6 hours or something in the very beginning? Wolf, you there?
25 minutes. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, okay. It was 6 hours, right? It was something crazy in the very beginning.
Yeah, 6:25.
Yeah, so it was... Oh, wait, dude, he's mating again. Oh, no, don't do that. I'm going to turn off your behavior. Disable mating. Yeah, I don't need another one running around here before I even deal with the first one. Stop. Yeah, you're running after me. I know. I'm trying to give you food though. All right, because I know I got a lot of these. I actually used a lot of those in my present. I put a lot of the vegetables in there. Exceptional kibble. Yeah, something like that is not really possible for me at the moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and access this inventory. You guys get the gist. You can get anything from normal requests to something ludicrous like exceptional kibble. So I only have one choice. I can cryopod him. Okay, which is an option. But then I need to wait an extra 172 seconds before I can throw him out and try something else. So, I mean, it's not hard. And realistically, you can have pretty high taming effectiveness even when you're doing it in like those very small intervals and doing this. It's just a lot of waiting, a lot of RNG, and if we were to move the interval like we had, because we moved it from the 6 hours that it was at to the 45 seconds, and then you do it again. But with the 45 seconds, by the way, this all varies by dino. I want to make that 110% clear. I will explain it in a second, but it varies by dino. So don't think because it works with the woolly rhino, it's going to work with a pterodon, a quetz, a giga, if you can breed those, etc. I mean, I'm not claiming that. This is just for this one specifically, at least. Oh, I need to go grab some water. Here, I'm distracted because my character is dehydrated. Oop. But the further we increase the interval, the more imprinting percentage we got. So I get 2% every 45 seconds, but if we were to go back to the 6 hours, I'd probably get like 60% in one imprint. So it's a trade-off. But I mean, it's all about how you want to play and whether or not you have the patience to deal with all that, etc. Like there's multiple variables to it. That's what I'm trying to say. But it's at least for us for this. I mean, we switched it back and forth. I'll show you guys the other one here in a moment. Put the rating back up, and you guys can see what exactly happens. But here, let's. Well, either way, I'm gonna end up cutting it. So I mean, I'll cut it back to when we've got the server back and everything's. Because I'm only going to do this one breed because of you guys. I'm not going to do the T-Rex breed and all that this episode. May do stuff like that in the future, but at least for this episode, I just want to show you guys how the breeding process works. And like maybe I can show you guys how the dino compares, and I can do a cut while I get him leveled and all that stuff. Like because I can just go kill some Brontos for like a good hour or so. But I mean, I'll do a cut, and I'll either be back whenever we've reset the server and I've got everything back up, or we'll be back whenever I've stuck with the rates that we've had and I've just waited it out long enough to do the 2%, and I'll show you guys where it ends up being. But I mean, it varies. A lot of this with breeding, it's all RNG, a lot of it's factors for the server, a lot of it's factors for dino. There's a lot you need to know. For some people, it makes their head spin. I get it. Believe me, some of this is a little... It is a little bit technical. I can't say it's not. So, I mean, it's... hope you guys have been following along. Hope you guys understand the general premise now that that's gone. Actually, before I cut it, let's see what exactly his thing changed to. Because he had exquisite kibble before. What is it now? How you doing, buddy? Cooked prime meat. I have some of that back at base. But you're going back in. Because like the reason I keep putting him back in the cryopod, guys, rather than leaving him out and flying back to the base, is because if by waiting the 280 seconds, I'm getting an automatic swap and the maturation rate. I'm watching how fast he's maturing. Because after he gets to 100%, imprinting is done. They're going to go from baby to juvenile to adult. That's with all dinos. And after he gets to 100%, you saw he was at 9%. After he gets to 100, I can no longer imprint. And whatever imprint rate he's at, he's done. Like these guys, these are wild dinos. They don't have imprint. But for the baby dinos, the ones that you're actually trying to imprint, vastly improve stats depending on the percentage they are imprinted. Even the smallest imprint possible will boost their stats to an extent. But at 100% imprinting, it's like a world of difference in your dino. It like multiplies their base stats, how much they could be increased, I believe. Obviously, mutations a little bit. I'm really going off on a off track here a bit because I meant to cut. But anyway, I'll see you guys back in a minute whenever I get this guy at least close to finished. I'll actually be able to hear you better now. All right, guys, I'm back a little early, but that's because I got this dude to go on a falling walk. I upped things in the settings. We just reset the server. I want you guys to see the difference. So it's like 2% for when I was doing the ones that, well, it was 2% for the ones that basically were set every 45 seconds. This one, it's upped way more than it was. As an understatement, I'm trying to keep my eyes on it so you guys can see when it changes. But basically, this one's just following me around. My God, it's lag. I just loaded back on here. There shouldn't be any. I'm bringing this dude out of the cave because there's like almost no space for him in the cave. Come on, bud. Look at that. Look at that. That's with a multiplier, but that's literally it. Look at that.
What did it get to?
Oh, 100% automatically just. But
wow.
but keep in mind, guys. Keep in mind that's boosted. That's boosted, and I mean boosted in the sense that like not that I did anything like ludicrous, but boosted in the sense that boost. I still have to wait for him to mature and keep him alive with food and stuff. But boosted in the sense that I flipped it. So I had like almost no wait time, but I had 2%, and then I put it up and done. So you gotta remember, we got the Christmas event that's helping with this, which I think doubles it, but something like that anyway. But also something like that. But anyway, there's also for the factors that I completely flipped it. So if you're doing this straight off the bat, if I'd lowered it a little bit, it probably would have been a little under that. Maybe, I don't know. I don't quite know all the numbers. Like I said, I'm still figuring that out. But for the basic gist, to do that normally, I would probably have to wait like 8, 9, 10 hours, something crazy. Like the bigger the boost you would normally get from it, the longer you'd have to wait. The reason I didn't, okay, and I guess you could say I lose the loophole, so I can get rid of this guy if that's a problem. I honestly don't, it's whatever. But if you have a dino that is born from the first way, okay, with the low stats every 45 seconds, and then you flip it, the dino that was born with the 45 is still going to have the 45, and you'll still get the high imprint boost. I'm not going to do this, okay? This is not how I'm planning on doing this. I'm doing this for a showcase. That is the reason. So, I mean, for this dino, you instantly saw it flip. You instantly saw the percentage change. You might think, wow, if I can get 96, why didn't I just do that every time? Well, you might also reconsider that, because once this event's gone and once you're doing it normally, once you're doing this vanilla, I mean, like you're going to be waiting. You're going to get a lot of percentage, like 30, 40, 50 percentage, sure. But your maturation rate would have to be like bare minimum in order for you to wait like 8, 9 hours and it almost not go anywhere. Like, look at this. Like, I have a boosted, there's boost stats for imprint, obviously, for it to go 96. Okay, you guys saw that. And there's obviously a boosted rate, which I talked about, for growth. So he's getting like 0.1 every second, every other second. It seems like every 2-3 seconds he gets one. Something like that. But, I mean, with it being that fast, it's not realistic to do a bare minimum. It's not realistic to do 2%. But at the same time, waiting 8, 9 hours, like it's going to depend on preferences of whose server it is, what dino it is. Like, there's so many factors in play here. But all I was trying to say was the fact that, I mean, I called it a loophole. It is kind of a loophole if you want to exploit it. I'm not planning to showcase, but it's a way you can do it, and you can get a lot more percentage, but you have to wait so much longer in the process. Like, I'm done with this dude now. I mean, I don't need to do any other activities. You guys saw him. He was asking for kibble, among other things. I mean, this is a really short version of a showcase, okay? There's a lot of different ways you can handle breeding, especially depending on the dino. I'm just handling it the way that I've kind of figured out and learned how over time. I'm not going to be nearly as good as I know that there's another ARC YouTuber who I've used a guide or something for this series before. His name's Syntax. I'm not using shutout, no whatever, no link, whatever. But I'm just mentioning his name because I have used him as a resource before. And you can find other in-depth guides from other YouTubers for breeding. I'm not planning on doing one, at least for this series, because it's not a tutorial series. But if you're interested, then there are other outlets. But there is a lot more factors in play when it comes to breeding than just a standard, oh, look, male-female breed, let me get a strong dino. It's not that simple. It'd be interesting if it was. Actually, no, it wouldn't. It'd be boring as heck. But it would... I mean, it's true. It would be boring, wouldn't it? Wolf is still here. But it's... There's more to it. I mean, Ark, I've said it before, and I will keep using this quote. Ark is a very beautiful game, but it's a very broken game. There's a lot of...
Perfectly balanced. What are you talking about?
I think the last word I would use to describe Ark would be balanced. I'm just saying. Call of Duty is
Maybe
more balanced than
unofficial.
Ark. Like, I love the aesthetics of Ark. I love the like general concept, especially with most of the maps. I say most because there are some maps that I just can't stand. Scorched Earth and Aberration being two, just to name a few. But okay, Aberration's not too bad, but Scorched Earth isn't really fun, in my opinion. Like, there are so many things that work well and so many things that are so overcomplicated they fall over themselves. Breeding is one of the most unique and one of the most, and they actually updated it with Genesis because there's more mutations and other things that you can get now than you could before. That you know. Your Argentavis, for example, Wolf, it has color schemes that may have not existed before the Genesis update because they added a lot more colors and they added a lot more mutations that can come with breeding because they're trying to encourage that kind of gameplay, and that's great. That's fantastic, actually. Encourage other kinds of gameplay. I mean, will help both PvE and PvE servers and the lifeline for the game. But I mean, there's a lot more to this than I can explain even in an hour-long video, at least with other stuff involved. So I mean, I hope you guys understand. I hope you guys got the general gist. I mean, I messed with this a little bit. And if you guys want to see me do one all through the 2%, I mean, that'd be absolute misery. But I can do that in the future if that's something you want to see. But just probably not right this second. And probably not for a little bit. But for the moment, I mean, this is what we're mostly going to be doing. Is breeding a bunch of these woolly rhinos. If you heard me say earlier, man, I'm really going to need something. My throat's getting dry from all this, but... you need 20 of the, you need 20, but you can have up to 20 dinos going into a boss fight. 2 of which, one's going to be my T-Rex and one's going to be his Argentavis. So roughly, we can have up to 18 woolly rhinos. I don't think we're going to go breeding crazy because I don't think we're going to need to. But
yeah, we shouldn't need to.
Yeah, I hope not. Because I was talking with Wolf before I started the recording, and I was like, it's kind of like with the Broodmother. If we go over to the Broodmother and we just get absolutely wrecked, then we know we're nowhere near ready for the boss.
Right.
I mean, and the bosses are another level. Like I said, the Broodmother that we fought is completely debuffed from what she usually is. I'm going to make that clear as well. Like, we were doing a lot of damage, and I don't know why, if it was because she had, boss health, and there's some, and her defense just isn't there, and it's just based on attack and other variables and how that all works. I mean, I have not played enough Ark recently to be able to give you guys accurate say on that, so I'm not going to, because I don't want to feed anybody false information. But at least from my experience, I mean, I believe what we're working towards right now will be enough. You guys are going to see a few episodes of intermission before we have anything ready. Because for all I know, when we beat the bosses... By the way, when we beat the bosses, that's not going to be the last episode. I'll plan something. We'll do something fun for the last episode. But don't think just because, hey, look, we beat the bosses, next episode it's all going to be said and done. No. There's going to be some form of transition. There's going to be something else I'll have planned. But just to make that clear. Because I know over the course of the past 2-3 episodes, we've made a lot of progress towards endgame. With the artifacts, with me doing a lot off camera, with the breeding. It's to move forward, but at the same time, I'm not trying to just snap the end of the series. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just progressing through the end of this here. Although I will say this is the only spoiler I'll give for it, but I do have something pretty fun planned for the next thing I'm planning on doing for Ark. And it does actually involve Wolf. So don't think with AFK and Wolf as players, that'll be the last time you see them. Isaiah said he should be back for the next thing I have planned, but he's not interested in hopping back on here in the moment, like I said. Oh, and just to make this clear as well, in case anybody's curious, any point in time, Antonio is not coming back. There's no chance of that man coming back. He literally deleted Ark that day. Yeah, pretty much. After what happened, he was seriously done. So yeah. Now, like I said with Isaiah, though, and I might have said it on camera, but if not, I'll repeat it. If you can't handle being tranked and being knocked out in Ark, then you cannot handle harder maps, because there is far worse that can happen to you on Scorched Earth, Aberration, and in almost any dangerous place on this map. So if you're somebody that does not have a tolerance for any kind of BS, then Ark may not be the game for you. It has some very cool concepts and some very interesting things about it, but it's not for everybody as a survival game is concerned. Like, look at me. I have all this crazy good gear on, but I'm literally overheating. And I have to make sure I constantly take that on and off so that my water's already drained, and I literally took care of that less than 10 minutes ago.
You'll have to lower or increase your fortitude.
Well, it's okay. So 2 reasons for that, guys. You guys have seen my character several times now. I'm max level. There's no increasing my stats at this point. Unless I did a mind wipe tonic, which I can bring up at some other point. But anyway, I'm going off track here. I have a lower fortitude, and it also has to do with my hyper and hypothermal insulation. I have a fantastic hypothermal insulation. Look at that, 555. But hyperthermal is absolute trash. I want my hyperthermal insulation to be higher, so I don't have to deal with the heat as much. Like, look at that hyperthermic insulation. Like, it's just, it drains so much of it.
I just replaced most of my flooring with metal.
Nice, man. I'll show you your base for the end of the episode as you're making progress. Because he's been working on his base, and I'm done working on my old base. I told you guys I was gonna make a new base. I'm planning on doing something. I am planning on making a metal base before the end of the series. Believe me, trust me, I am. I'm just thinking about how exactly I want to handle it, because technically I already made one based on water. Have my main base. With how close we're getting to the boss fight, I don't know how much sense it makes to actually work towards and make another base off camera. So as much as I want to, and as much as I've scouted out areas, there might actually not be too much of a purpose in it, besides just doing it. So, I mean, I do still plan on doing something. I just don't know if it'll be a full-on base after all this, all things considered. But I'll keep you all in the loop, and I'll let you guys know as time moves forward. I'm going to need to wait quite a long time. Like, if I'm sitting over here on camera with y'all, I'm sure we're already like an hour, 15 hour, and 20 minutes for the recording, but look at that. I mean, I'm going to be here for the next half hour before this dude's even grown up. So I'm going to go ahead and fly over and see what... Actually, I want to make sure he has food before I fly off, because otherwise I'm going to regret everything. You are out of food. I'm glad I checked.
This is heavy metal. Okay, I need to make...
Didn't you increase your weight a lot?
I did. It is currently...
I need to get them some more berries.
1,900 pounds. Oh. Yeah. I will be taking a mind wipe tonic later before the boss fight.
Oh, I'll be doing that too. I mean, there's still plenty of stuff I want to show you guys before we actually do the boss fight. So don't think that we're gonna get the dinos, have everything. Oh, I just realized that multiple values. What is that? I keep it safe. Oh, okay. Well, that was from something different. Okay, that's from something different. Ignore that for what you guys saw. That was from something we were experimenting with earlier, because we were having trouble with the broodmother spawning. So for his fight, I did spawn it in, but I accidentally spawned in the wrong one, because you guys remember I do have admin commands. I try, for the most part, not to use them for anything, but for content sake, I kind of did, because we'd been flying around for a minute and nothing was happening respawn-wise. Could have been that the broodmother wasn't visible, but, I mean, oh well. As you guys saw, I tossed it out, so it's not like I'm keeping that. That's essentially what they saw was a trophy from you killing the broodmother boss, but that was when I incorrectly spawned it in. Like I said, there's nothing. I don't see any harm in that, specifically for one specific reason. I don't get anything from the broodmother. There's no tech gear that's unlocked. There's no anything. When we incorrectly spawned it in, he killed it. So I mean,
yeah, it was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, you got to see how much damage he did to an actual boss. Granted, I don't know what difficulty it was. I just saw the health bar and I immediately realized, oh crap, I spawned in the wrong kind. But because Valguero operates in a different thing. I'm really getting on a different tangent here. But let me go ahead and fly over to his base, and since I got him squared away with food, I'll fly back after the episode's done and Next episode, I'll show you guys what his stats are. You guys will know, but at the same time that I do, because I plan on starting the next one very, very shortly after I end this one. Because I most of the prep I did, just so you guys know what I've been doing off camera, most of the prep that I did was for breeding. Some of it was for the aberration, because I needed to get a lot. If you guys remember, like you see I have element ore on me. I got that from some of the aberration crates. Like, I had to spend so much time down there in order to actually get enough blue gems and enough congealed gas balls from that area. Although I did make it's called the gas chamber, right? Gas tank, something like that.
I think so.
Yeah, something like that. It's a aberration item that I got a blueprint for out of one of the drops, and actually you get congealed gas balls from that. I'll show you guys that next episode, but just to let you know, like, there's a lot of stuff that I had to work off camera. And the reason that I did all that off camera, even though that's technically a new item, I did all that off camera just because it saves a lot of time. And it makes it so everything flows a bit more smoothly. Because if I were to show you guys everything that I was doing on camera, these episodes would all easily be over 2 hours, and it would all some of it would just be tedious for both me and you guys. At least I believe so. What did you do?
Replace the wall with the same.
Oh, you get the materials back.
I did it again. I do, yeah.
So I've
been replacing the same wall with the metal.
Oh crap! I fell. I'm glad I made more grappling hooks. Hey, this is actually perfect. I can watch him from here. Just hang off the edge and just watch this man work. Is how we're gonna end this episode. I know I stop on my friends' bases a lot, but it's because mine's already kind of established, and it's really cool to see how they're progressing along. In case any of y'all are curious why I do like base stops, and just to see how they're doing. Especially when you're the host, it's always good to check in and see how everybody's doing. But I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I know this was a little bit of a different one because it started off a bit differently than planned, and it was just all over the place. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Catch y'all later.